Hanzarko in France, and he was 40-1 before the weekend. I thought, you know what, I fancy a bit of that for some reason. Totally didn't get around to putting the bet on. I was so annoyed with myself. Anyway, let's get ready for this one. I'm not going to put a bet on this one. I'd have to say Dale Thomas has got to be one of the favourites as the lights go out, but Dale doesn't get the start really. It looks like pole position.
Yeah, Matt Pallett
is the man.
In Timber Kawasaki, number 212. He seems to take the reins on this one as he go in towards Redgate for the first time there. Difficult to tell from a distance there, isn't it? It's just a blur of bikes and colour.
Have I pointed out the nominative determinism in Matt Pallett's name? His name is Pallett, and it's sponsored by In Timber. So what's that all about then? That's very good. Only probably plastic pallets. Okay, let's not worry about it. All good as they disappear off down towards the old hairpin, the famous Craner curves, and they'll come back into our view as they hit Schwantz curve, hopefully not literally.
Pallett still has it.
That is Pallett.
Hey, that rhymed.
Pallett has it. Well done indeed. If you're a poet, you didn't know it.
Thank you very much.
Okay, up towards Coppers we go. We'll check the timing beam, of course, out the back there. We won't actually see what sort of numbers they're doing, but it does tell us that Matt Pallett does indeed lead the way.
Looks like Henry Ross is the man in third place there. Difficult to see who that is in the sandwich, but nonetheless we'll get confirmation when they do come back into our sight on the exit of the Foggy S's. But certainly Matt Pallett, number 212, your pole position man, still has the advantage over Michael Tustin, that is, on bike number 164, but the blue Yamaha number 141 of Henry Ross, side by side. Oh, not quite as late on the brakes there. Dale Thomas hard on the brakes in fourth position. Looks like Elijah Everton's trying to make a move for fifth place as well, but they all funnel into the Melbourne loop. Everybody through safely in the first half of the field, but it is Pallett from Tustin, and then Henry Ross, Dale Thomas, a bit of a gap back to Sam Hurst it was, sorry, Sam Hurst, bike number 91. Who has Elijah Everton right there with him, and Zach Weston in 7th ahead of Joey Landon, Gareth Cunningham, and I think that's a 35 of Kai Dickinson rounding out the top 10.
Interestingly, in sector 2, the fastest man on the track is Thomas. I thought he might be, because he really wants to get in the mix here as Pallett leads Tustin, Ross, Thomas, Hurst, Everton, Weston, Lambden, Cunningham, Dickinson. Bloomfield leads the way in 11th place for the Clubman's B Hall. Is in 11th place in class, 12th overall. Then we've got Walker, Hickmont, Gower, Lord, Anderson, Packham, Barnes, Mayer, Coombs, Montini, Wolf, Kershaw, Hobbs, Rybicki, Swire, Ransom, Jackson, Higgins. So there we go. Everybody's had a mention. Everybody's made it across the line for the opening lap. 31 bikes in this particular race. And it looks like we've got a breakaway group of 4 at the sharp end there, doesn't it, Bradley? That's going to be Pallett, Tustin, Ross and Thomas, I think.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there. Nothing to separate them. And it's the change there further down the order in 6th and 5th, so Everton is ahead of Hurst for 5th position, but it's purple in sector number 1 for Dale Thomas, the man in 4th place. So it's all bunched up within the leading 4 as they come down the back straight once again, over the crest, over the roller, into the braking zone for the chicane, and Matt Pallett is pulled out a little bit of an advantage there, around about 5 or 6 bike lengths there as they go in towards the Melbourne loop. And Matt Pallett, tell you what, that rear end on that Kawasaki was left, right, but he's just about dragged it down to the apex. But look at that battle for 5th place. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 riders all fighting for that 5th place position, currently being headed by Elijah Everton. So we've got a battle for the lead, a battle for 5th place to keep our eyes on as Matt Pallett leads Michael Tustin and Dale Thomas across the line.
We also got a huge battle going on behind those guys as well, as pretty much everybody else is in that next battle as well. So yeah, the 600 certainly know how to turn on the action, and I have to say the lead that Matt Pallett is enjoying at the moment is probably as big a lead as we've seen all weekend. Of course, he's nearly 4/10 of a second up, and behind him then 3/10 second back is Thomas, but Thomas is the quickest man on the track there, 36.1. Everybody else is 36.4, 36.9. In fact, I'm surprised Tustin went a little bit quicker than Pallett on that lap actually, so he did actually close that gap down a little bit right at the end there, because I think Pallett had a stronger lead going in. I don't think he's as strong as some of the others down the bottom there. Maybe that shaking about at the back end of that Kawasaki is costing quite a bit of time. They go up the top there. Who trips the timing beam?
Michael Tustin.
Yeah, that's the one. That's your quick man out there. With that gap, he can smell that bike in front of him, and he wants a little bit of that gold medal action. The gold medal so far, you've only got 3 chances across the weekend to pick one up, and it's been Matt Pallett picking up both of them. Now that is going to help him in the championship. Right now there's only 36 points covering the top 4 in the championship, and Matt Pallett is the 4th of them.
Matt Pallett leading the way now. Dale Thomas slides up the inside of Michael Tustin, so Tustin, who was leading a few corners ago, is back down into 3rd place. Henry Ross ready to pounce on the 164 of Michael Tustin as well. Not quite close enough to make a challenge into Goddard's, but it is Pallet from Dale Thomas in that order. In that battle for 5th place there, Elijah Everton now ahead of Zach Weston. That is 5th and 6th place. Joey Lambden right there with them as well. Sam Hurst just losing a few positions ahead of Kyle Dickinson, Gareth Cunningham and Paul Bloomfield, who will be the first of the Clubman riders, Keith.
Yeah, indeed. Paul's had a very good weekend as well. He leads the Clubman Championship by 36 points over Tom Walker, and he's looking to consolidate that. He could have a 2-race advantage by the end of this weekend if he keeps this sort of pace up. He's certainly very impressive indeed. Tell you who I'm interested in, Zach Weston. He's come across the line in 6, so he's sort of refound his pace a little bit there. In fact, he does go purple in sector 2, because for a while there he was down in 8th place, and that's a long way back for somebody like Weston behind Elijah Everton, for example. He is leading this championship coming here. At the moment, it's good news for Pallet, because he's got quite a few bikes between himself and the championship leader. So all of a sudden, the 25 points he's picking up is going to compare to about the 8 points or so that Weston will pick up.
There's a change in second place there. Number 164, Michael Tusty, went around the outside of Swans to give him the inside line for McLean's as well. So Michael Tustin moves up in the second position now ahead of the number 93 of Dale Thomas. So Pallet, Tustin, Thomas and Ross is the order, and Henry Ross there now mounting a challenge as well on Michael Tustin. So it's all changing once again in this front 5.
Ross went purple in sector 1 there, and now he's proven where he found the speed from, and I certainly can't give the 25 points to Matt Pallet yet, because he has definitely got the pressure from Dale Thomas, and it wouldn't be a disaster if Dale Thomas won this race as far as the points goes, but Matt Pallet would like to grab every single point he can, while Zach Weston's a little bit further back at the moment. Here they come then across the line. The top 4 were covered by .993 over the line last time. That's gone out to 1.062, but it's another fastest lap this time, and this time it goes to Henry Ross, who's into the 35s in that 3rd place. So even though he's a little bit far behind, 0.4 of a second behind Dale Thomas, I think he's going to close that. Behind him, Everton also picks up the purple in sector 2 as well, but he's actually gone backwards twice, so he must have lost a lot of time in the first sector to pick up that yellow, and Weston now is back up to 5th place, a little bit closer to where he belongs. And the other one who is having a good time at the moment is Sam Hurst as well. He was up into 4th, 5th place there earlier in the race. Now he's dropped down to 8th place. So again, maybe some issues with his machine as the leaders make their way back up towards the timing beam into Copper's Corner. Looks like we've got a breakaway at the sharp end, have we? Yeah. Oh, look, Thomas has gone quicker than anybody now.
Dale Thomas is leading the way, and he's trying to stretch the group now. Copper's down the back straight once again. We do have 2.5 laps to go, so when they cross the line, we'll be on to the penultimate lap. But Dale Thomas has decided that now it's go time. He's trying to stretch him, and look at it. There's now a group of 2, a little bit of a gap, then a group of 2. That was Aki there, but hard on the brakes. That is Henry Ross trying to stick it to Michael Tustin, but Michael's having none of it.
So strong.
Dale Thomas has got a little bit of an advantage here of around about 7 or 8 bike lengths as they go in towards Goddard's.
Again, you do wonder if tyres become a factor at the end of the weekend. Not too many people's tyres stick a new tyre over the last race. However, that could be the advantage on that Triumph that Thomas has got as he comes across the line. Is it another fastest lap? No, it goes to Tustin. Actually, it was going to go the way of Pallet, but all of a sudden Tustin goes quicker than anybody else. And all of a sudden, further back, we see Thomas. I was going to say it's a lap. Yeah, there we go. Thomas does do a 34.695. Wow. Yeah,
fastest lap we've seen all weekend.
Yeah, that's a lap record then, so Dale Thomas should be taking that one home unless Matt Pallet or Henry Ross maybe behind him can find something. But they're going to have to find it quickly, aren't they, Bradley? 2 laps around here, and the rate these guys are going is not a lot of time, is it?
No. So it's not... Oh, look at the gap that he's got already. So let's have a look. So going towards around about 1.5 to 2 seconds. So I'd say it's a gap of around 1.5 seconds for Dale Thomas over Matt Pallet as we go in towards the second sector now. So the number 93 Triumph gone purple in that first sector, looking to improve on a 1 minute 34.6. So to put it into perspective, over the course of this weekend, nobody else has gone sub 1 minute 35, and Thomas has done a 34.6.
Wow. Well, pushing on hard. Tustin did a 35.235 last time round, so he's definitely very close to it. But you're right, nobody else has cracked that magic sub 135 as they go down into the Melbourne Loop once again. Now, has Thomas got what it takes to stay ahead? I think he has, to be fair. That is a huge gap.
Yeah, enough in hand there, hasn't he? Matt Pallett is going to really push for this on the last lap, though, you know it.
Oh, yeah, he's going to give it everything he's got. He'd love to make it a hat-trick of wins here at Donington, but I tell you what, behind him, those two boys behind him, Tustin and Ross, I'm not going to write either one of them off, as we see a 4:34.394 click on the screen there. Brilliant stuff. Pallett there with a 34.991, so Matt has got a 34 in him, but unfortunately that man is just too far in front, surely, unless he has a major wobble somewhere. That is an impressive time from Matt Pallett, though. Tustin, Ross, Weston, Lambden, Everton, Hurst, Dickinson, Cunningham, Bloomfield still leading the way, and the Clubman's doing a great job out there. Second of the Clubman's coming to the line now. I think it's going to be Harry Gow. Jake Anderson, the class coordinator, he's going to be pleased with that. He's 0.8 of a second over Aaron Hickmott at the moment, so if he can hang on to that, that'll be a very hard-fought little medal for him to take home on the dashboard, which is always very welcome indeed. Out the back, our leader is about to trip the timing beam. He goes yellow, but that could be something absolutely still very, very fast. Well, it is very fast because he is still leading the way. I think everybody has probably not got a faster time in them, though. Chubby Lambden proves me wrong, so does Elijah Everton, as those two continue to argue over 6th place in this particular race. Nothing is settled as far as the second place guys go either. I don't think Thomas, I think he's going to win this one. Looking good though for Pallett, I have to say.
Don't think too much is going to change within the top 4 here at all. That's Michael Tustin trying his best on the brakes. There's Zach Weston in 5th place ahead of Joey Lambden and Elijah Everton. That's the top 7, and it's all pretty much equidistant there between the 2nd, 3rd and 4th riders, as well as the 5th, 6th and the 7th place riders. But Sam Hurst is got Kyle Dickinson for company there, hasn't he? And Gareth Cunningham as well, as Dale Thomas punches the air as he crosses line to take 25 points ahead of Matt Pallett, Michael Tustin and then Henry Ross. And you mentioned, so Keith, on that final lap, Dale Thomas 2 yellow sectors, but it's still a 1:34.4.
Yeah, so pretty slow then, really. Yeah,
you see, I'd do that in my Corsa.
Yeah. Yep, so Matt Pallett, Michael Tustin, Henry Ross, Zach Weston finishes in 5th place. The good news for him, actually, is that Thomas has won the race, so that's 25 points that Matt Pallett doesn't get. He still picks up 20 points, so he still increases the, closes the gap a little bit to Weston. It's not the disastrous as it could have been. So a little bit of a face saving for both riders there, really. Weston, Lambden, Everton, Hurst finishes in 8th there to Dickinson, Cunningham. Then it's Bloomfield just outside the top 10, taking the leading Clubman man ahead of Harry Gower. Addy Beeville stays there between himself and Aaron Hickmott. And Hickmott does indeed get the bronze medal ahead of Jake Anderson with just 0.2 of a second gap between the two at the end there. But unfortunately, that's racing. James Lord, the reigning champion, is 6th behind Tom Walker, the man who's 2nd in the championship at the moment.